I'm Chloe from Brit & Co. I am so excited to talk to you about this movie. This is so special, and it's going to mean so much to so many people. So first off, thank you for just making this movie, period.
Oh my God, thank you. It was such an honor to be a part of.
Yeah.
That sounds like a sort of a platitude, but it really was. I'm such a big fan of Wicked and have been for so long that to be a part of it is insane.
Yes. And there were so many moments that just took my breath away, and I was laughing and we cried a little bit. And this movie really just reminded me how much I love Bach. Because he's so sweet, he just does so much for Glinda. And I couldn't help but giggle a little bit because it reminded me of all the times I've stumbled over my words in front of a crush or literally like spilled water in their lap on accident.
Whoa, so specific.
Very specific. You can tell I haven't forgotten that.
Yeah.
I have to know if there's anything embarrassing that you have done in front of a crush.
Oh my God, just existing entirely. Yeah, for sure. I think I definitely am a person who like suddenly can't speak.
Me too.
I'll just be like, oh my God, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for coming. You know, like that is kind of my MO and always has been. I think I've never left the place of feeling like a 7th grader.
Yes, no, I totally relate to that. And there was a moment where you mentioned how Bach finds a community at Shiz.
Yeah. And
I want to know if there's a moment on set where you realized that y'all were forming that community and family together as actors.
Yeah, it was kind of like that from the beginning. I mean, Ariana and Cynthia welcomed everyone with such open arms. Literally would like hug everyone who came in.
Yeah.
And John welcomed everyone with such open arms. The first day, I think every actor had a minimum 2-hour meeting with John just to like walk through like all of the designs and all the things and talk about character. And so from the very beginning, it just felt like it's really safe. And what could have been incredibly intimidating, this huge movie, something that we've been waiting for 20 years, on a big scale with the biggest stars in the world, it could have felt really intimidating and it felt really familial immediately.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then every moment was kind of like that. You know, we had a rehearsal with, I don't know, maybe 100 dancers working on Dancing Through Life, and John came down, this was really early on, and he gathered all the dancers around, and he gave this speech, and I'm not going to try to paraphrase it because, you know, he would do it better, but he basically told the story about how he fell in love with filmmaking, and it was because of dancers, and it was because of the collaboration between dancers and the camera, and he was like, we're all in this together, and if you need anything, find me. He's like, I'm in the director's chair, but I'm accessible, and he was.
Yeah.
I would sit next to him and watch take after take, and he would like point things. He was just so generous.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it just felt like that from the beginning.
I love that. Is directing something that you would be interested in like foraying into?
At some point. I mean, especially seeing John work, I'm like, there's so much I have to learn, but I'm excited to learn it.
Yeah.
And I write, and I love writing for the screen and all of that. And someday I would love to take that on, but I think I'm self-aware enough to know that it might be a little ways down the line.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Dancing Through Life, which was actually my next question, so that's perfect.
All right.
I would just love to hear about bringing that scene to life, because the electricity between you and Jonathan and Ariana and the rest of the cast was so fun, and there's so many moving pieces. I was kind of dancing in my seat a little bit. I couldn't help it.
So, well, because Johnny's the most like charismatic human on the planet.
Yeah.
It's nuts. That whole scene was so fun. And it was fun because we got to like, well, Johnny and Ari are so funny, right? They're just like an incredible duo, and they're so funny individually. And so like getting to sort of follow them, what you can't see is that even in the shots that I'm not in, I'm like, just like right here, like so. Speaking of spilling water on your crush, you know, I'm just like really close by, just out of frame, which is like a little Easter egg just for me, you know, watching it and be like, oh, I was there.
Yes.
But I just got to sort of like be around in their orbit, and it was like, they're magnetic, both of them.
Absolutely.
So super fun. And then the dancing, the choreography, and being in a room with everybody like stomping and it's amazing.
I know. I was like, this is going to be the scene that I envision myself in every time I watch, like, just dancing with everybody.
Yeah.
So I talked to Michelle Yeoh this morning.
Yeah.
And she mentioned kind of a little bit of pranking on set that John would kind of get her to, like, scare Ari or kind of come up behind her. Were there other pranks on set?
I don't know. There was a lot of just, like, hanging out and, like, giggling on set. I think John and Michelle, I think, like, have a real special, they go back, and so they were really funny. And what's really, I was talking about, like, all of the people in this cast from afar are so intimidating. It's Michelle Yeoh, like, it's Jeff Goldblum, it's, and then in person, they're just, like, down. They're just, like, down to clown. And, like, it was so fun. I don't know if pranks, I was too nervous to do pranks.
That's valid.
And I think people were kind and didn't prank me, but there was a lot of giggles.
Yeah. I feel like giggling is all you can ask for.
I cannot wait for, like, the rollout of everything that Bowen said that isn't in the movie, or Ari, honestly, said that isn't in the movie. Just take after take.
Yeah. How much did you break filming this movie? Because we were cracking up.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty good.
Okay.
But the moments where, like, somebody broke, where it was always great.
Yeah.
There's just, like, one that's seared into my memory of in Dr. Dillerman's classroom.
Okay.
I don't remember what Ari said, but she got Cynthia. And it's just the two of them, like, across the way, and they're staring at each other, and she got her so good. And it was, there's something really wonderful about about breaking.
Yes.
It's delightful.
Oh, I love that. Have you gotten any fun or surprising, either celebrity or non-celebrity fan reactions so far to the story as it starts, kind of, the buzz happens?
I think the most exciting reactions are from, like, fans. Oh, you know what? Actually, the thing that was the most exciting to me was hearing from the original cast who got to see it. And I've become very close with Chris Fitzgerald, who was the original Bach, and with Norbert Leobutz, who was the original Fiyero. And so after they saw it, I got to talk with them a little bit about what it was like to see, and that was really meaningful. Like, not just because they're friends of mine, and not just because I look up to them, but because it meant a lot to me that I took care of Bach, this role that Chris created.
Yeah.
And he's, the best of the best. So that was really cool. So that's sort of a celebrity reaction.
Absolutely. I have loved seeing just all of the posters and the press for this movie so far, and I was really taken aback by the fact that the tagline for the movie, out of the entire musical, is "Everyone deserves a chance to fly." Why do you think that's so important to be like a tagline for a story like this?
I think that the message, that what makes us unique, what makes us different makes us unique, is really powerful. And I think it's twofold. One is it's empowering to each person that, like, you do deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve happiness, you deserve to be seen, and you deserve to do the great things that you want to be doing.
Yeah.
But also, as a directive, the way that we treat others, it's not just me that deserves that, it's you. And making sure that you treat others, the way that you would want to be treated, or to, like, acknowledge the humanity in others that it's so easy to acknowledge in yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it's both things. I think it's both empowering, and it's, like, a good way to treat people.
Yeah. And final question, what is your go-to, like, musical theater song when you just need to sing?
Honestly, if I just want to, like, belt at the top of my lungs,
Yeah.
I go to Jesus Christ Superstar. I do.
Okay.
No, I do Heaven on Their Minds.
I just heard that song for the first time from one of my friends.
It's so good.
So fantastic.
It's incredible. Talk about a great movie musical.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations. This is going to be, like, this is our Sound of Music, I feel like. Like, people are going to remember this in so many years. So congratulations, and thank you again.
Thank you.